Hey, it's Olga here from Degtyareva.com and Productivity for Scientists. This is where you overcome overwhelm, become more productive, get in charge of your day while feeling happy in your life. And the topic of today's video is how do you meet your deadline? Do you leave your work until the last minute? Is maybe right now you are facing a deadline. The deadline is coming soon, but for one reason or another, you are not doing the work that needs to get done. Is maybe that you actually have time to do the work, but you are not taking the actions that will bring you there closer. You're just kind of working around it and investigating a little bit and researching and leaving the bulk of the work for later. Or maybe that you're busy and this is your excuse. This is why you're not doing the work for the deadline. So one way or the other, the bulk of the work is left until the last weeks or the last days or the last minutes. And because you're doing it last minute, the quality of the work suffers because you didn't have time to recheck it or to improve it. Alright, sounds familiar? Yeah, we all experience this, and I've just recently heard this kind of the same similar stories from my gold group coaching programs, from a couple of my private clients, and a couple of the strategy sessions that I had recently. Exactly the same story keeps coming up. For some reason, I delay doing the work and leave it until the last minute before the deadline. So I want to give you doable strategies that you can apply to improve the situation, to start pacing your work, to start doing your work a little bit earlier and pace it. And this way you can meet deadline with less stress, not going into burnout, and also improve the quality of your work because you had time to actually check it and improve it. Right? Sounds good? So a lot in this topic is around mindset. This is where you can improve a lot, but I'm going to address it in my upcoming videos. Today I want to give you a very practical, doable strategy that you can apply straight away. And what is it all about? Well, think about it. When your deadline is coming nearer and you're finally starting to do the work for it, what actually happens is actually the pressure that builds up because of the deadline becomes so great that you yield into this and you start doing the work, right? So also the other thing that you actually do is that you start doing the certain things, you start taking certain steps towards your deadline that really bring you forward. Yeah, you're not like researching anymore around, you're not like, doing little things around it. You're really doing things that are bringing you forward. So we want to use these two things to help you get unstuck and start doing the work towards your deadline now, a little bit in advance, and pace yourself as you work towards it. And if you're wondering how much earlier you should start, I would just say, start a little bit early. Give yourself a little bit more time, because there is no ultimate guide of how early you should start. And maybe you are starting now, you're giving yourself certain time before the deadline. And for you, it might seem tight, but for other people, it would be actually quite in advance of deadline. We have all our own ways of dealing with it, right? Some of us start 2 weeks in advance, others start 2 days in advance, others start 2 minutes literally before the deadline, because this is the only way for them that the pressure becomes great enough to start doing the work. All right? So don't worry about this ultimate timing, how much in advance you should start. Start a little bit in advance, earlier than you usually do. We are using that to things that we just found out about the deadline. So the first one is that usually the pressure is quite high on you, and then you yield to this pressure of the deadline. So today I want to suggest you that you practice it a little bit more in advance of the deadline in a healthy way. And you can do it by asking yourself this question. Listen to this. If there were no more time to delay, what would I start doing on my project now? If there were no more time to delay, what would I start doing on my project now? And this is very powerful question, because usually we're like, oh, there is still more time, and so you delay, you don't start doing those steps now. But when I asked this question, one of my private clients, she's like, it was so clear to her what needs to be done now, and she just went and she did it. And she submitted her abstract to a conference in advance, which happened like for the first time in years. So what happened is that you realize that there is no time to delay. There is no reason to delay, and you can start working on your project right now. But by asking this question, you actually get very clear of what are those steps that you need to take right now. So you get clear on those steps. It could be 5 or 4 or 5 big steps, and you just focus on one of them and you start working on them. And so in this way you start piecing yourself. Okay, does it sound good? So this is the suggestion of today's video, is that you start practicing that urgency of the deadline a little bit in advance of the time, and in a healthy way, and start asking yourself that question. If there was no more time to delay, what would I do now? Start breaking that down into doable tasks that are really bringing you forward toward that project, and start doing them now, even small steps. All right, sounds good? I hope that's helpful. This is your Productivity for Scientists assignment for this week. And if you are not yet receiving this weekly video strategies from me, go to my website, olgadegtyareva.com. And if you're already there, just go to the top of the website, download your free resources, and you will also receive this weekly free video strategy straight into your email inbox. And I talk to you next week. Bye.